Hi, I'm Gary, and welcome to another episode of Physical Format Rock and Roll, where we talk about all things rock and roll and classic metal. This is an episode of New Music Review, where I pick a new album that I've recently purchased and do a quick review of it. Tonight's episode, we're talking about this album, Vertigo, by Zakk Sabbath. So, for those of you that do not know, Zakk Wylde, who has been Ozzy's guitar player for many years, has over the past few years been touring on and off under the moniker of Zakk Sabbath, where he plays all Black Sabbath music. And it is strictly Sabbath music that he plays when he tours. And he decided to go into the studio and to make a record. Now, I guess the first thing you have to think of is this something that we need? Somebody doing a version of Black Sabbath songs? Well, that's up to the listener. I will say what this is that makes it kind of unique. So it's called Vertigo. And that is because Black Sabbath's first release was released in England under Vertigo Records. So this is actually a track-by-track remake of the very first Black Sabbath album. So it's just those songs. You're not getting Paranoid or War Pigs or Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, anything like that. These are just the songs that appeared on the first album. There's the track listing, as you can see. And this is kind of unique. Like I said, this is obviously, never going to be as important or as good as the original Black Sabbath release, which to me, those first 5 Black Sabbath albums from Black Sabbath up to Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath are just all magical. Those are just great records, and I love all of them. I'm a big Black Sabbath fan. So when I saw this, I kind of got it, one of those curiosity buys. I'm like, well, what's this going to sound like? And I wanted to get the vinyl of it. I don't have enough of Black Sabbath on vinyl yet. Still working my way onto that. Most of that's on CD, cassettes, whatever. Anyway, I know that last summer, when I say last summer, I mean 2019, back before all the COVID stuff, that Zakk Wylde did tour this, and it did make a stop fairly close to me, but I was not able to go see it. I kind of wanted to, but I guess at the time I was like thinking, well, I don't know how good this would be or anything like that. I will say, definitely after listening to this album, that I really wish I would have went. Circumstances, I guess I couldn't go, but if I get a chance again, I would definitely go see him. I would go see him and, probably take, my boys with me if I could. He does a very good job. This is a fun album. Okay, this is how I look at it. It's not exactly, he doesn't do a note for note version of these songs, which is fine, right? He adds his own flavor to it when he plays, and Zakk sings on this album too, and he sounds a lot like early Ozzy on these songs. His voice sounds pretty good. I enjoyed listening to this record. Now, it's not going to be one, it's never going to replace me listening to the original Black Sabbath album, but it is something to listen to for a little bit of change. And, when it comes to like some of the soloing and stuff in here, especially like on side 2, if you look at these songs and you're familiar with the first Black Sabbath album, you know that there's a lot of noodling and stuff going on in those songs. The first Black Sabbath album actually is slight little more bluesy than some of the later ones. So you have a lot of things in there where Zakk can improvise on this album, and he does. And it gets to show a little bit different styles of his playing at times. I was a little afraid that he was, because sometimes Zakk Wylde's playing is, a little over the top for me at times. I think he's a great guitar player. And I thought, well, if he does that all throughout this album, it'll kind of make it almost ridiculous. But he doesn't do that. He adds some of that, false harmonics that he does all the time into there. But he shows some different styles. And I think this would also be good for maybe some younger people, too, who think that maybe the Black Sabbath album, the first one, because it's such an old record, that it was done on a small budget, that it maybe doesn't have the punch that modern music does to it. And this does, this kind of has that extra punch without going overboard. This is a pretty good, nice sounding recording. I really like it. I would recommend this. I would recommend this to somebody maybe younger too, or somebody my age who's listened to Black Sabbath for 40 years and just a little change of pace. Take it for what it is. It's just Zakk doing his version of this classic album, and kind of paying homage to it. You can even, it's got this pretty cool looking cover there that opens up, very Black Sabbath looking. The inside, it's got their pictures. It's got Zakk, of course, on lead guitar, vocals, harmonica. Got the Wizard, right? You got to hear that. Blasco on bass guitar, and Joey Castillo on drums. And they're all good. This is good sounding album. It's just a fun album. It's got a lot of punch to it, It's a good album, I think, to sit around and have a couple beers with and listen to with some friends. So, I'm going to grade this down 1 grade just because it's not all original. So, I would give it a B if I was going to grade it like that. But I would recommend it. It's just a fun album. So, Vertigo by Zakk Sabbath. It's in the stores now. Give it a try. I'm Gary. This is Physical Format Rock and Roll. Please leave any comments you'd like to, and I'd love for you to subscribe to this channel. I'll talk to you later.